Ugh. This is a different place than normal. Hey, I'm making a fire in my fireplace, and part of this video is me explaining why I'm making a fire. It's been a really long time since I've done a video like this where I just kind of sit down and just talk about life. And this is not so much a life update, it's just me rambling about a specific aspect of my life. I think the last time I did a video like this was when I was kind of giving a little bit of an update about I was going to grad school. All this to say, I just wanted to sit down and talk about something that's been on my mind lately with like basically no preparation. I have a couple things that I know I want to talk about. How I will get to those things, what order I will talk about them in, I have no idea. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about like stress, I guess, and mental health, kind of. I don't talk about mental health a lot because I'm fortunate enough to not struggle tremendously with it. By the way, disclaimer, I do not claim to be an expert or even remotely skilled in the art of building and stoking fires. I use those little fire starters. Don't judge me, I'm being vulnerable in this video. Please be nice. So yeah, I don't talk a ton about mental health because I'm fortunate enough not to have really like mental health issues that are detrimental to the quality of my life, which is really nice. But one thing that I guess I've always, like, if I had to pick something that I've always sort of struggled with mentally, it's stress. I remember being like, I don't know how old would I have been before we moved to Arkansas, so younger than 10, 7, 8, 9, talking about how stressed I was, and people would be like, you can't be stressed, you're 8, and I'm like, I am! I'm stressed, I'm worried about school, I'm worried about, my family's moving from city to city, like there's changes in my life, and it stressed me out. It's just, I don't know, I'm a stressable person. And the reason I'm talking about this now is that lately I have been stressed, again, for seemingly no reason. I'm in between classes right now, so I'm literally like on vacation, and yet my brain is like, find something to stress about. It's so weird. So I've lost my sense of time. How will I stress? Lately, I have had basically nothing to be stressed about. Objectively, from an outside perspective, what could possibly be stressing me out? But the thing is, my brain, it just finds a reason to be stressed. So much so that I couldn't motivate myself to, I couldn't motivate myself to really put a lot of effort into a YouTube video this week. So that's kind of why you're getting this more stripped down video. How did this get here? I went and made sure, that our address wasn't on any of the mail that's going to appear in this video. Am I crazy? There's no address. How did you get here? I don't understand. Stop spamming. This is spam, right? Anyway, executive dysfunction, I think is what they call that, right? Not something that I normally struggle with, but maybe it's because I'm off schedule or I don't know. But my brain is just like, oh, nope, time to be stressed out. So seriously, it's gonna sound so ridiculous, but I have given myself kind of a schedule so that I feel like I'm getting things done while I'm on this socially distant vacation where I'm home by myself all the time and not really getting much work done. I try to do 2 or 3 hours of work each day in addition to the tutoring that I'm doing. So, Mondays and Wednesdays, I'll work on some research a research project that I'm working on. Tuesdays, I work on a project that I'm doing for my job, but it's not related to teaching. It's planning out the curriculum for a new course. So I work on that on Tuesdays. Thursdays, I work on brainstorming for the linguistics channel that I will start. It's a lot of work. I want it to be a really quality thing. So I know I've been talking about it for years, but one day. So that's what I've been working on Thursdays. And then Friday through Sunday, I just relax. It's not even the work part that stresses me out, I don't think. So I do 2 or 3 hours of work a day. I work out for about an hour in the morning. And then the rest of the day, I'm over here trying to get caught up on my YouTube subscriptions, which is the dumbest concept that I ever invented. I'm subscribed to 530-something YouTube channels, which is way too many, for one thing. I tried to, like, go through and get rid of some of them, and I couldn't. I like my content creators, and I don't really watch, like, Netflix or anything else. YouTube is, like, it's my TV. It's, like, the only thing I watch. So, you know, take that into account. But normally when I'm teaching, I don't have enough free time to watch every single video that all the people I'm subscribed to are putting out each day. So I sort of fall behind, and I'll start scrolling back to where it said 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and then it's a week ago. But I want to watch everything that everyone I'm subscribed to is putting out because I care about them and I like their stuff, and I find it entertaining. I find it inspiring for my own YouTube content. By the end of the semester, I'm like 2 weeks behind on YouTube. So when I have free time, I try to watch through 2 days worth of my YouTube subscriptions each day. And that's a lot of work. I'm watching like 6 hours a day. Plus, I try to watch a few videos in my Watch Later because I have like 600 videos in my Watch Later playlist. And like, wow, what a stupid thing to complain about, right? I mean, first world problems. I recognize how silly it is, but my brain is just like, stress about this. You need to be so stressed. If anything interferes with your schedule and you don't get to watch 6 hours of YouTube, you're gonna be so behind when you start teaching again. And my brain is just like, this is the most important thing in the world, even though obviously I recognize that it's so unimportant. Yeah, like I said, it's gotten to the point where like I'm so stressed about it that like I don't even want to work on, you know, I became unmotivated to do my own YouTube stuff, which is kind of counterproductive. So that's where I'm at with the brain. Vsauce did this video. I don't know if you gathered this, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube. So Vsauce did a video recently about the ways we perceive time. And he talked about, I think, 3 different categories of how we perceive time. So one category is short, long memory, I think is what he called it, or short, long experience. I don't remember the exact wording, but it was short, long, because when you experience it at first, it feels short, but when you look back, it's like a big, important memory. The other common way of perceiving time is long, short, which is you feel like time is dragging on when you're at work or something, but when you look back on it, your memory of it is just kind of like, I don't really remember the details. At the end of the video, he talks about kind of a new kind of perceiving time, which is called short. Something that feels like it goes by really fast, but when you look back on it, it also doesn't really hold much significance. It wasn't a very important memory. These are things like watching TV, scrolling through social media, and you look up and, whoa, it's been 5 hours or whatever. So even though time flies, you look back and you don't remember every single thing you looked at when you were on Facebook or were watching TV or whatever. And oh my goodness, I have a superiority complex when people talk about social media. I'm like, I don't ever use my phone, ever. And I don't watch TV. I'm just so good at managing my time. Because it's true, I really don't use social media. I use Facebook like, it probably nets like an hour a day, which I guess to like older people that seems like a lot, but I don't use any other social media. I don't use Instagram. I don't really use Tumblr right now. I don't use social media. And I definitely don't watch TV. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a problem for me. Why did I become like Canadian when I said that? But then I remember, oh wait, I watched YouTube for 6 to 8 hours a day. I sort of realized, I was like, oh, that's my short way that I'm spending my time. I watch YouTube and it feels like it feels like I don't have enough time. It feels like it goes by so fast. But then I look back on it and I don't know, what videos did I watch yesterday? I could probably name 5, but off the top of my head, not super important. No offense to all my lovely creators that I'm subscribed to. But you get what I'm saying. This is gonna seem unrelated, but basically all winter long, I felt like I kept telling myself that I need to burn things. We have all this mail accumulating in our house, and I'm like, one day I'm gonna freaking set a fire and It's gonna be great. I'm gonna get rid of all that mail. But then I'm like, no, I can't do that because like I have to stoke the fire for like an hour. So I hadn't been doing it. And sometime last week, I finally was like, I set aside some time in my day, I think, or I don't even know. Yeah, I was having a bad day, and I was just like, I'm gonna burn a fire because I didn't really feel like doing anything else. So I was like, do that thing that you've been telling yourself you were gonna do for like months, you know, just start a fire. And I did it, and it reminded me how much I like burning fires, starting a fire, burning a fire. I don't even know what the action of this is called. And I realized that it's kind of meditative for me. Meditation, I think, is like a scary word for lots of people. Like, it sounds really hard, and you have to just sit there and not think of anything. And, you know, maybe burning a fire isn't like meditation. But I really feel like the point of meditation is to just let your mind wander. You know, we feel like, oh, I don't need to meditate. I'm on vacation. I'm relaxed. I don't need to meditate. That's silly. But my form of relaxation is not relaxing me. When I'm watching YouTube videos, I don't really feel relaxed. And my mind certainly doesn't wander because I'm focused on what the people I'm watching are saying, which is fine. Like, again, like it's perfectly fine to watch TV, look at social media, watch YouTube, and sort of have a bunch of other stuff going on in your mind. But we also need to give our minds the chance to really just like process whatever's going on in your life. And for me, the easiest way to do that right now in a world where I can't really just leave my house. Normally, maybe I would like go for a drive, right? But I like to have at least like a destination. And I don't want to go say, oh, I'm going to go to the store and buy a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos just for the excuse of going on a drive. I can't do that when I'm trying to only go grocery shopping twice a week. You know, I could go for a hike, I could go for a walk, but it's cold right now. So a lot of my methods for just kind of getting away aren't there right now. So this is my way of getting away while I'm staying in my house. Because when you're making a fire, you can't look at anything else. It's a fire, you know? That's not a bad thing for me. I viewed it as a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually great because I can't look at my phone. I can't watch YouTube. I can't watch TV. I have to just look at the fire. And when I'm looking at the fire, I start thinking about, why have I been so stressed lately? What can I do to fix that? My brain just has more room to reflect on those emotions. To me, that's meditative, you know? Taylor from It's Radish Time also did a video. Yeah, I'm gonna reference another freaking YouTube video because this is the life I know. Taylor from It's Radish Time did a video recently called How to Build an Upward Spiral. I mean, that title alone is captivating. Basically, in this video, she talks about her experience with depression, executive dysfunction, those sorts of things. And, there we go. Anyway, she hates meditating. She hates the idea that going for a walk could cure your depression. And of course it can't. And I'm not trying to say that either. She didn't say that. I'm not saying that. But basically her video was like, I was feeling like crap and I went for a walk and I listened to music and then I felt better and I was like so mad that it made me feel better. And I was like, wow, that's how I felt when I realized how the fire was helping me just process things, right? It's just like, dang it. I don't know. It's like, it's that simple. What Taylor said is, it's like the first step. It's the upward spiral. You're not going to appear from the middle of the spiral to the outside immediately, right? It's a slow process, but it gets you started on the process. I'll just show you what she said because she said it better than I possibly could. So here's that.
This is a slow process that happens over time, and if you're really struggling, maybe the first layer is medication, which makes it easier to show up to therapy, which makes it easier to buy groceries and take a shower, which makes it easier to take a walk, which makes it easier to do your job, which makes it easier to call your mom back, which makes it easier to feel like you're alive for a reason. And upward spiral, if you will.
For me, my equivalent is, stoking this fire made it easier for me to think about the things that I've been feeling. Thinking about my feelings has made it easier for me to, I don't even know, I can't explain why, but it makes it easier to do other things because you're not like bogged down. That negative emotional stuff is not in your mind. So it's like, now I can get work done. So that resonated with me. Yeah, there's just something about a fire. You're taking trash and you're making something out of it. It doesn't feel like you're making something, but you're making heat and it's cool and you have power over something like really dangerous. And I don't know, there's just the heat, people say that when you have anxiety, it's good to kind of tap into your senses. The way it can be really, really cold and then suddenly the fire will flare up and suddenly you're extremely hot. Thinking about those sensations, the smell of the fire, the light, right? I love to see when you burn like a magazine or something that had like a credit card in it and it makes like that bluish green flame. Are you kidding me? The crackling. There's so many sensory experiences to focus on. To go back to the buzzword that I used earlier, you have to be present. You can't look at anything else. You're just focused on what's in front of you and your thoughts. It's become a short, long way of experiencing time. And it's just like, yeah, that's literally what Michael Stevens was talking about. And sure, the experience of burning the fire wasn't important to me, but the things that I thought about during that time, that was valuable. So I guess what I kind of learned from that experience was that meditation, now I feel like it's getting deep and I feel like I have to look back at the fire because I don't want to look at the camera. Meditation does not have to be, the stereotypical things that you hear. It doesn't have to be sitting cross-legged with your eyes closed, and it doesn't have to be going out in nature or lighting candles or whatever. Meditation can be stoking a fire in your own house. It can be going for a walk through the streets of New York and listening to an album that you like. If you live in New York, like it's Radish time. That was a reference to the video. Don't go to New York just to, if you don't live in New York, that is an extremely ridiculous way to meditate. I do not recommend it. So that's really all I have to say. Like I said, this video is not scripted, so I don't really know how to wrap this up. But I'm curious, what are the things that you guys do in your everyday life? This is so hot. Ah! Okay, fine. What are the things that you guys do in your everyday life? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to do a call to action. Work with me. What are the things that you guys do in your everyday life that are kind of meditative? For me, it's stoking a fire, going on a drive, going on a walk. So I don't know. I feel like I had an epiphany, and I'm curious what you guys do to clear your mind, because I think that people overcomplicate it, and I'm curious to hear what other simple ways to feel present. Thank you for watching. I always feel awkward doing like a little call to action. Like that first thing really wasn't a call to action. Like I actually want to hear what you guys do. I think this is really interesting, and it's something I discovered. And I mean, like, do you even think that this counts as meditation, or is this something else? I feel weird doing like your typical YouTuber call to action at the end of more serious videos like this. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. I am here every other Friday, so you can subscribe if you want. My videos aren't all existential, but this one was. So I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye. This is hot.